Alright, so I noticed I'm a day late to this, but, breaking news, Kevin McCarthy is no longer Speaker of the House. Like, he was ousted in a very narrow majority, mostly by Democrats, along with some Republicans crossing over. There was a big dispute the other day, where Republicans were debating as to why McCarthy should stay, and of course you have folks like Matt Gaetz from Florida, uh, leading the way as to why McCarthy shouldn't be Speaker of the House. I remember when the Republicans won their very narrow majority back in 2022. McCarthy didn't have the votes necessary to become the Speaker, and it didn't look like Hakeem Jeffries could, because the Democrats are in the minority. He needed the Freedom Caucus folks, like Boebert, Gates, and some of the other members. So what happened was he cut a deal with Gates in order to get their votes for him to become Speaker. He gave him a laundry list of things for him to do. Unfortunately, during the last 9 months, it looked like he was breaking promise after promise after promise, and Gates was just getting more and more frustrated. And I guess the final straw was when he found out that McCarthy had a backdoor deal with Democrats to give funding to Ukraine, because they knew on its own it wouldn't. There would be a big debate over it, especially amongst the GOP. But and Gates was heavily against the whole omnibus spending packages, which majority of us are against it. I like the fact that you do single issue budgets and you do a vote on it, like a vote-a-rama. That's what they call it. But what happened was, when Matt Gaetz called out McCarthy saying, "Hey, I'm going to oust you," McCarthy was like, "Oh, you don't got the balls to do it," and then it turned out he actually did it. Now he's out of a job. And what's really fascinating is that just a little while ago, before I started recording this, that apparently the acting Speaker of the House, man, I gotta look up what his name is, ordered that Nancy Pelosi vacate the special office that's for the Speaker of the House, which is odd, because she hasn't been Speaker since the start of this year. Like, you're wondering, why is she still in that office if McCarthy was the Speaker of the House? That's another example as to why McCarthy was inept to be leader, because he didn't force her out of what was supposed to be his office and let her continue to operate like as if she was still the Speaker. Again, I'm actually glad McCarthy is out. I'm not a big fan of the neocons, and in fact, I don't really like most politicians. But good on Matt Gaetz and the Freedom Caucus that led the charge against him, and I got him out. It was about time we start holding members of government responsible, and they can't just take their jobs very lightly, knowing that, hey, we're gonna hold you to it. Again, good on Matt Gaetz. You give my thumbs up. All right, I know.